But we woke up the other morning and I looked at my phone and looked at the GoFundMe and I thought it said $2,000. I was thrilled, absolutely thrilled. But then I looked at it and then I looked at it again and it said $20,000. I I didn't know what to believe. I just could not. Nobody's ever done that for me or my family. So I wake my wife up and she looks at it. For the next 2 days, we kept on looking at this to make sure it was real, because I thought at any time somebody was going to come and take a zero off because they accidentally put too many zeros. I haven't recorded anything in a while because honestly, I'm tired of editing my words. Have you ever felt gaslit by a religion, by people? Have you ever felt like it's not the religion, it's you're looking at it wrong? You see truth in things, and people tell you, no, 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 that's not true. God wouldn't allow that to happen, so that's not true. There's a lot of bad things that happen in this world. I don't think it's that God allows anything bad to happen. We create the bad things that happen. I have logged thousands of volunteering hours, thousands of miles of travel, and thousands of dollars because I felt something was right and I wanted to help. And this situation where I ended up needing help myself in a really bad way, my family needed help, has taught me a lot about people. You have to respond the way they want you to. Oh, you're too negative. Oh, you're this, you're this, you're this. And my favorite one lately, you've been hurt in the past 3 years because you haven't been tithing. Even though they don't know that we haven't been tithing, we just haven't been putting our names on our tithes. It's the judgment, the hateful judgment from the, I know I'm not supposed to say it, from the Christians. Not all Christians. There's some very, very good Christians, and most Christians mean well, but they've hurt a lot of people. And I am one of them. My wife is one of them. My daughter is one of them. You see, I've recently, as people know, the past couple of years, have had a GoFundMe trying to raise money. And it's been really difficult because I've only partially been vulnerable. I've only partially put it out there that I needed help, that my family needed help. I basically only advertised on Facebook, TikTok, stuff like that. That's been my only advertisement. And I don't even ask people to donate. I ask people to share it. That's all. Because I don't like the idea of asking for anything from anybody. Because I got punished when I was younger for doing that. What I mean is, when we asked for help, people held it over our heads. We were judged for it. We have slowly gotten help over the past 2 years, and it equaled to be about a little over $8,000. But it took 2 years. And during the 10 months I didn't work, it cost $3,000 a month to pay all of our bills. So that was $30,000, not including the medical bills that we had to pay. So though I am very thankful of the people that have helped us, it's not like it helped. It got us out of the situation where we were using people. There wasn't enough to use. I was needing to feed my family. I was needing to pay bills, and it was helpful. The people that helped did help it tremendously, even if it was $10, and it meant a lot to my family. Well, here about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I decided, I'm like, you know what? Something told me I need to really, if I'm going to be vulnerable, because what's the difference? I've been homeless before. What am I learning this time that I didn't learn last time? Well, I've never been in a position where it wasn't just me suffering. It was my wife and my daughter. My daughter was the biggest difference. It's like, so what do I need to learn in this situation? It's the hindsight window. It's looking back. What did I learn from certain situations? And that helps you get over the situation you're currently in. So I'm looking like, what is the difference? I've never, ever let myself be vulnerable like that. Never. And so I think about it. I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write a text message and then paste the GoFundMe link. And I'm going to tell people, hey, we're in a situation. We have 2 weeks before we are homeless. Literally, not figuratively. We literally don't have anywhere to live. We need help. And so I sit there and I text that to every single person in my contacts. Over 2,000 people. I have a lot of people in my contacts over the years. I didn't know most of these people. I raised approximately $1,700 just doing that. Was it enough? Not nearly enough. It really didn't put a dent in giving us a place to stay at all. But we woke up the other morning and I looked at my phone and looked at the GoFundMe and I thought it said $2,000. I was thrilled, absolutely thrilled. I mean, sure, we still needed a lot because we got the land and everything and to be able to move. But have you ever paid to get water on an undeveloped piece of land? Have you ever paid for sewage? Have you ever rebuilt the inside of a house? Put electricity? Have you had electric brought to your land? All this stuff is very expensive. $2,000 wasn't enough to do any of it, not one of it. But still, I was ecstatic. But then I looked at it. And then I looked at it again. And it said $20,000. I didn't know what to believe. I just could not. Nobody's ever done that for me or my family. So I wake my wife up and she looks at it. For the next 2 days, we kept on looking at this to make sure it was real because I thought at any time somebody was going to come and take a zero off because they accidentally put too many zeros. And that single donation made it where I could at least get a camper trailer that me and my wife and my daughter can move out and live. The only water and utilities is off this camper, by the way. We don't have water utilities outside. So to get water and everything, we'd still have to go load it and everything. We still have to get water put in there, which is going to cost us about $9,000 to get sewage and to get water. It's going to cost probably about, I think, around $4,000 or $5,000 at least. But it's a start. I was so happy. I was like, God, I'm a fool because I wasn't trusting that somebody out there that would help. My wife goes to a birthday party for one of the kids. She teaches the kids program at this church that we go to. The only church that I will go to because every church ends up issues that I just can't rectify. But this church has been a very welcoming church. She goes, and then she goes up to this hairstylist that is an elder in the church. She says, "Hey, can I make an appointment with you to get my hair cut? Cut. Not like a $250, $300, $400, $500 haircut. a woman's haircut, which is about $50. My wife hasn't had her hair cut in over a year. Over a year. She has not had anything done to her hair because we've been struggling. And she wanted to finally get her hair cut. This woman takes my wife outside in front of my 6-year-old daughter and starts cussing at her, calling her a liar, saying that we are using people. This is a church minister, an elder in the church, sitting there doing that to my wife. My wife has major issues with narcissists, with people talking down to her like that, because she grew up like that. This woman would not let my wife get a word in edgewise. And she did it in front of my 6-year-old daughter. And we are big about honesty in my family. We tell my daughter to be respectful and to be honest. I had to go and tell my daughter that's not how adults act. That's not how people act at all. We're not supposed to do that. That was a bad thing. Your mama is not a liar. And so we do the only thing that is the responsible thing that we thought we were supposed to do, chain of command. I called my preacher. And we called another elder also, but we couldn't get a hold of her. So we called the preacher and the pastor and the pastor's wife. And instead of helping us cope with this, we're told that we shouldn't focus on this woman that did this. Focus on Jesus. The church has helped us grow so much that we shouldn't punish the church for this. You know what's wrong? What's wrong is that why you've been struggling so much is that you don't tithe. You really need to tithe this money into the church. Oh, but the one thing that they will have a talk with her about, about her doing that in front of my daughter. But why didn't you go and talk to her? Why didn't y'all go and talk to her? My wife tried. She kept on getting shut down. But it doesn't matter if an elder in a church attacks you like that. But why? Why did any of this happen? Would Jesus do this? No. We know that Jesus would not do this. And when I said this, I get told, well, Jesus whipped people at churches and stuff. He flipped tables. We didn't do anything wrong. We simply were in need and asked for help, and somebody helped us. Being vulnerable has proven to me that a good majority of people are so deity driven, worship the Bible so much that they don't love God's children. Everybody is God's children. They don't love like Jesus, because that's what Jesus did. He did not go to the Philistine and say, hey, woman, you're a horrible person. You need to repent and worship me. What God do you worship? You shouldn't be worshiping that God. You're going to hell for doing that. He didn't go to the man that was the layman and say, what God do you worship? Who do you follow? Are you going to listen to me preach? Where do you tithe? How do you spend your money? He didn't do that. He told the woman at the well, I know the things you've done, but follow my way and you will see that you are loved. Follow my teachings and you will see it. You are a loved person. He told the lame man, do you have faith that you can be healed? Then get up and don't misuse your gift. Don't take it for granted. Don't miss the mark. Too many people out there are hurting because of the church, because of well-meaning Christians that are too interested in self-righteousness and following the Bible. It is not up to man to condemn anybody. It is not your fucking business where somebody screwed up. Your job is just to love them all, not to convert them, but to love them. Being a disciple of men is not hitting them upside the head with the Bible. Jesus did not read a Bible. I don't care if you say it's the word of God or not. Jesus did not read the Bible. He was Jewish, and he read the Torah to people that were Jews. He didn't read the Torah to the Philistines. If it was so important to him that the church become this strong power that people were beat with words, he would have written the words down himself. He would have made sure his followers were writing every single word down. But if you look, the manuscripts were not written at the time of Jesus. They were written way after Jesus. But that doesn't even matter. What matters is what was he saying? He wasn't telling people that it's man's job to tell you you're going to hell, and they should make you feel like you're this small until you do exactly what they say. There is no church out there that I've ever agreed with at all. I mean, maybe a little of it, but that's not why I went to church. I went to church for fellowship. I am not a follower. I'm not very good at following. I ask too many questions. Jesus wanted you to ask questions. Jesus said himself that he looked at the heart of man. Judge a man by his heart. If people were truly truth seekers, they would be willing to change. But most Christians are not truth seekers. They're not willing to change. They want confirmation through documentation. I'm a truth seeker. If I find something that proves something that I believe is wrong, I change. I don't change by the pretty words of anybody. Remember, Hitler got millions of people to follow him because of his pretty words. If you want people to become Christians and followers of Jesus, quit trying to convert them. Quit telling them that if they don't tithe, they're going to hell, or their life is miserable because they don't tithe. Especially because you don't know if they don't tithe. I refuse to put my name on any money that I give to anybody because it's not about me. It's not about what I can get. I give out of my heart because I want better for that person. I want that person to have a better chance, better opportunity. Not that I think their person's going to spend the money the way I want them to. It has nothing to do with me. That's why my name is not on it. I have found where a lot of Christians really stand. And I'm referring to the Christians that I considered friends. A lot of them will quit being friends with me as soon as they find out that I don't agree with their belief system. Yeah, I'll be friends with them. I'll still be loyal to them. Because I don't care what your belief system is. I don't care how you think life is, what happens to us after we die. That's not why I'm around you. I love you because of who you are, not because of the experiences and the education that you got that got you to believe certain things. I have a friend that is an atheist and a Democrat. I mean, he is far, far left. Why don't you like Antifa? It means anti fascist. He's that guy. But I still love him because he means well. He really does. He doesn't want to see people hurt or in pain. But his experiences taught him what he believes. And me telling him to believe something different isn't going to change him. So if you want to start changing people, start with yourself. Because people aren't going to change because of the words you say, because of a book you show. You show me a book, and I'll show you the manuscripts before that. I'll show you the Aramaic idioms that actually mean something that didn't express. You cannot do word for word translations with languages. You have to understand their idioms. And I've talked to several Christians that have literally stated it doesn't matter what their idioms were. It doesn't matter what that meant. Because God would make sure that we would understand the way things are now. If that's so true, why can I pick up different versions of Bibles and some of them will say one thing and some of them will not say that at all, or they'll have two different meanings? The King James Version of Ephesians 4:29 said to speak harshly. The New Version says not to cuss. Them were two different things. Completely two different things. Quit hating people because of the way they believe. Start loving people like you're supposed to. If you are really a Jesus follower, follow his example. And remember, he was speaking to Jews most of the time. He spoke to people where they were. He didn't go to the Philistine woman and say, you have to pray to my God. He didn't tell the Canaanite woman, I pronounced the city wrong, that, no, since y'all don't believe in the God that I'm talking about with the Jews, then I will not help you. He didn't say that. Love people where they are. I will probably never step into church again without me being there because I'm there to speak, if they'll even allow me to speak. Because somebody that knows me knows that that's my dream, is to be a speaker. And when I volunteer at a place for years since the opening, and they don't even know what I'm trying to do, why would I want to stay? If you say you love somebody, but you can't tell them where they are, where they know they are in their belief system, if you don't listen to them, then you don't love them. If you love your religion more than you love people, you're doing it wrong. That's not what Jesus said. He didn't say love your religion and then love people. Your God is not your religion. God preceded religion. Religion was our way of understanding God. But it's not God. Stay in peace. Stay in love. Hey guys, I want to personally thank everyone for liking and sharing my videos. If you want to continue to see my content, all you got to do is press that subscribe button and I'll notify you as soon as a new video comes out. I don't get paid for any of this. So if you want to buy some of my merch, like my shirts, like Jesus is a Badass or my Don't Be a Dick shirt,
You can easily go to my merch store, which is at sogtv.org, which I will have it in the description at every video. So push that, go buy yourself a shirt. I appreciate it. Have a blessed day, and I will see you at the next episode. Thank you.